mother who worked her ass off and he became president. So that's nonsense. See? So we have to look at there is no model. There's no model that tells you not to achieve what you need to achieve. But you have to become aware, right? You have to become aware of the parts of yourself. You have to become aware that truth, living with truth is going to open up those abilities. Those tools are going to become to your fingertips. And there's no other way. This is how our ancestors, they came to understand it, they lived it, and they demonstrated it. And they left a building that cannot be knocked down, earthquake-proof, the whole bit. They left that to show you that they had achieved that. And achieving that gives you the imagination to achieve that. And so this is why we don't look to our African homeland, our civilizations that our foreparents, our ancestors created. We only look at what the trauma from slavery has done to us and the anger that we feel. But we don't go back. We don't look backwards to the time when we had developed beyond development of any kind of imaginative thing today. Because anytime today, they just want to imagine the next technology. No one wants to imagine the creator. Peter Tosh said everybody wants to sing songs about baby, 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 but nobody wants to sing songs about the creator's moon and stars. See? All that's saying is that we don't want to widen our minds. Right? We don't want to still them so that they become wide because they have no limit. The mind is limitless. But the more we try to think and make it move and thing is the more it's narrowed, the more it's small. See? So these are the principles. These are the ways and means that we dismantle, unveil ourselves. We don't need to stop living. We don't need to stop doing, because in the midst of the fire, we must truly know we can't get burnt. The soul cannot be burnt by mortality if you know that. So know that. The fire cannot be put out with water, and it cannot burn you if you're living that truth. Because the truth is the fire. And you're protected in it. The fire of the Lord, the fire of God, right? Because the sun, right? The sun contains all the minerals, all the elements that make you up. Right? The heat of the sun makes things grow, keeps us alive. Without it, there'd be no life. And without it being where it is, and without us being where we are, no life. It's in the same way you look at your life, right? That's your contribution, that you're alive. That we as humanity collectively in our spirituality, in our soul consciousness, can allow divine conception of the heart. Right, Morgan family? You don't have to be dread to be Rasta. Divine conception of the heart. divine conception of the heart. You come to understand your value in the birth of you. The value, who value you? The Creator. This is how we become valued on earth, by understanding our value to the Creator. Right? And the circumstances on earth don't necessarily mean that the Creator against you and all those things, even though you might think that the world is against you. Yeah, well, that, the world is against you, but the Creator is never against you. The Creator's love created you. The Creator's love never, ever leaves you. If the Creator's love left you, all your atoms would fall apart. They would not stay together. You would not exist anymore. So the Creator's love never leaves you. It's what holds those atoms together. It is what allows the kidney cells to communicate with the bladder cells, and it allows the heart to pump the blood cells, and so on and so forth. It never, ever stops. So birth and death is only a mortal understanding of time and space. But because you are more than birth and death, you know birth and death, but you know something more. Eternal life. You have that desire for eternal life. Well, if eternal life wasn't there, you couldn't desire it. You couldn't seek it. Right? So we are challenged by life, the stones, to sharpen the axe. Right? So the challenges sharpens us, gives us that edge, cut through all oppression. See? If you're a big tree, I'm a small axe, I'll cut you down. Right? So weight's telling you dimensions doesn't matter when it comes to the Creator and the divine wisdom. David, small guy, Goliath, makes no difference, you see. Oppression greater than you, you feel helpless, hopeless, you're going to go pick up that violence and start it. No. You can defeat it by defeating it in yourself and become aware of the value you are to the Creator. You're so valuable. It took its own self, a part of itself, to create you. That's how valuable you are. And we don't talk about the value. We don't talk about the value. We talk about what things are valued. But we don't talk about each other as value. What's the value? When you lose a loved one and you miss them and you wake up and they're not there, and their lovely voice and their laughter and whoever they were to you. We don't speak of the value, right? We love our mothers. We care deeply. We would give our lives if somebody was trying to take them down. And this is the kind of love the Creator feels for all of us. And it's the kind of love that don't leave us. It doesn't leave us. See? So the more we try to opinionize our minds, they're this and they're that, and that and that, and they're always fighting. No, don't try to move that. Keep that mind still. Keep that mind still.